I'm Matt Hoehner, and I serve as the Executive Director of Open Sky Education in the St. Louis region. And I'm here to talk to you today about how Open Sky has partnered with congregations and communities to make sure that a world-class education is accessible and affordable for all kids. Now, there's a rich history of Christian education in our country. Back in the day, it was the parish school model. But the educational landscape has changed quite a bit in the last few years. To contextualize that for you, in St. Louis, at one point there were 23 Lutheran schools in the city limits. Today, there's only one functional Lutheran school in St. Louis. Moreover, at one point, in one decade, we lost 1,200 seats. So how do we continue to provide for the children that live in these neighborhoods? How do we bring them a world-class education and Christian character formation? Well, Open Skies partnered again with others to bring these three important pillars back to the community. First of all, a world-class academics. Secondly, character formation. And finally, Christian faith formation for families who want it. So how did we do it? Well, first of all, we partnered with congregations and took the vacant school buildings and renovated them into safe, loving learning environments. In 2013, we established the first Eagle College Preparatory School here in St. Louis. Now, Eagle is a public charter school, and what that means is it's a publicly funded school, but it's privately run. And so there's accountability and autonomy. We're accountable to certain goals and to ensure that we have a high-quality school, but we also have the autonomy and the freedom to choose our ed model, our staffing model, and make sure that we have everything we need to individualize the learning process for our kids. Moreover, we can focus on specific things like character formation. And so at Eagle Schools, we help the kids learn who they are, their identity, their purpose, why they exist, and what that looks like in their lives, what actions actually flow from their purpose and their identity. In this way, we help them to grow in their character. And so in Eagle, this publicly funded school that is tuition-free and accessible to all kids in the neighborhood, we can provide two of the three pillars: world-class academics and character formation. But how do we bring Christ to these kids? Well, we bring another separate organization called Compass Educational Programs alongside of Eagle. Compass is a before and after school program, serving the kids an hour before school and after school till about 6 o'clock. There they learn about Christ and they grow in their faith in the Lord and their love for others. And it's that Christian community that wraps around Eagle that provides the third pillar. Moreover, Compass provides preschools at some of our sites, taking the children at the earliest age and helping them grow in their relationship with our Lord. Well, I've been talking a lot about strategies and structures, but now let me tell you about the real impact we're seeing through Open Sky's partnership with the community. I was teaching a Bible study at one of the Compass programs a couple years back, and after I finished, a little girl walked up, about age 5, and she said, "You know, I used to hate God." Now just pause right there. I mean, think to yourself, what does it take to make a 5-year-old hate God? But that's what she said. I used to hate God. But then she followed up by saying, but now I love him because I know who he is and I know that he loves me. And you just think about the impact that has not only on this little girl whose hatred has been turned to hope, but the impact that can have on a school, a community, and even more. You know, it wasn't but 500 years ago that a man had a similar sentiment towards God. He said, I used to hate God, but when the gospel was accessible to him and he learned how much God loved him in Jesus, it changed his life and literally changed the world. Martin Luther, in his hope, shared that hope with so many other people. And that's the hope that inspired many of the schools that once stood in the city. And it inspires people even today to share a world-class education and Christian formation with kids in their community. So how does this happen in St. Louis or potentially in your community? Well, it takes innovative thinking, dedicated staff, committed families, community partners, all in prayer to the one who can do immeasurably more than we can ask or even imagine. If you'd like to learn more about Open Sky Education here in St. Louis or throughout the nation, check out our website at openskyeducation.org.